Hey guys, good morning. Today we are going to discuss the Revelation book. Introduction. Author. 4 times the author identifies himself as John. From as early as Justin Martyr in the 2nd century AD, it has been held that this John was the apostle, the son of Zebedee. The book itself reveals that the author was a Jew, well versed in scripture, a church leader who was well known to the 7 churches of Asia Minor, and a deeply religious person fully convinced that the Christian faith would soon triumph over the demonic forces at work in the world. In the 3rd century, however, an African bishop named Dionysius compared the language, style and thought of the Apocalypse, Revelation with that of the other writings of John and decided that the book could not have been written by the Apostle John. He suggested that the author was a certain John the Presbyter, whose name appears elsewhere in ancient writings. Although many today follow Dionysius in his view of authorship, the external evidence seems overwhelmingly supportive of the traditional view. Date. Revelation was written when Christians were entering a time of persecution. The 2 periods most often mentioned are the latter part of Nero's reign, AD 54 to 68 between, and the latter part of the Domitian's reign, AD 81 and 96. Most interpreters date the book AD 95. Occasion. Since Roman authorities at this time were beginning to enforce emperor worship, Christians who held that Christ, not his Kaiser, was Lord, were facing increasingly hostility. The believers at Smyrna are warned against coming opposition, and church at Philadelphia is told of an hour of trial coming on the world. Antipas has already given his life along with others. John has been exiled to the islands of Patmos, probably the site of a Roman penal colony, for his activities as a Christian missionary. Some within the church are advocating a policy of compromise, which has to be corrected before its suitable influence can undermine the determination of believers to stand fast in the perilous days that lie ahead. Purpose. John tries to encourage the faithful to resist staunchly the demands of emperor worship. He informs his readers that the final shutdown between God and Satan is imminent. Satan will increase his persecution of believers, but they must stand fast even to death. They are sealed against any spiritual harm and will soon be vindicated when Christ returns, when the wicked are forever destroyed, and when God's people enter an eternity of glory and blessedness. Literary form. For an adequate understanding of Revelation, the reader must recognize that it is a distinct kind of literature. Revelation is apocalyptic, a kind of writing that is highly symbolic, although its vision often seems bizarre to the Western reader. Fortunately, the book provides a number of clues for its own interpretation. Example: stars are angels, lampstands are churches, the great prostitute Babylon and the heavenly Jerusalem is the wife of the Lamb, etc. Distinctive features. A distinctive feature is the frequent use of the number 7, 52 times. There are 7 beatitudes, 7 churches, 7 spirits, 7 golden lampstands, 7 stars, 7 seals, 7 horns and 7 eyes, 7 triumphs, 7 thunders, 7 signs, 7 crowns, 7 plagues, 7 golden bowls, 7 hills and 7 kings, as well as other 7s. Symbolically, the number 7 stands for completeness. Interpretation. Interpreters of Revelation normally fall into four groups. The first group is preterist, understand the book exclusively in terms of its first century setting, claiming that most of its events have already taken place. Second one, historicists, take it as describing the long chain of events from Patmos to the end of history. Third category, futurist, place the book primarily in the end times. Fourth category, idealist view, it is a symbolic picture of such templess truths as the victory of God, victory of good over evil. Fortunately, the fundamental truths of Revelation do not depend on adopting a particularly point of view. They are available to anyone who will read the book for its overall message and resist the temptation to become overly enamored with the details. Total we have 22 chapters. Outlines we can discuss right now. First chapter we can see introduction and prologue, greetings and doxology, and Jesus among the seven churches. Chapter 2nd and 3rd, the letters to the seven churches. What are those? We can discuss Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira and Sardis, Philadelphia, Laodicea. So chapter 4 and 5, the throne, the scroll and the lamb. The throne in heaven, we will discuss the seven sealed scroll, the lamb slain. And from chapter 6 to 8, the seven seals. First seal, the white horse. Second seal, the red horse. Third seal, the black horse. Fourth seal, the pale horse. Fifth seal, the souls under the altar. Sixth seal, the great earthquake. The sealing of the 144,000. The great multitude. Seventh seal, silence in heaven. From chapter 8 to 11, the seven triumphs. Introduction. First triumph, hail and fire mixed with blood. Second triumph, trumpet, a mountain thrown into the sea. Third trumpet, the star wormwood. Fourth trumpet, a third of the sun, moon and stars struck. Fifth trumpet, the flag of locust. Sixth trumpet, release of the four angels, the angel and the little scroll, the two witnesses. Seventh trumpet, judgments and rewards. Various personages and events. The woman and the dragon, the two beasts, chapter 12 to 14, under that we can discuss. The lamb and the 144,000, the harvest of the earth. From chapter 15 to 16, the seven bowls. Introduction, the song of Moses and the seven angels with the seven flags. First bowl, ugly and painful sores. Second bowl, sea turns to blood. Third bowl, rivers and springs of water become blood. Fourth bowl, sun scorches people with fire. And fifth bowl, darkness. And sixth bowl, Euphrates river dries up. And seventh bowl, tremendous earthquake. From chapter 17 to 19, Babylon, the great prostitute. Under that we can discuss Babylon described, the fall of Babylon, praise for Babylon's fall, and praise for the wedding of the Lamb, the return of Christ, the 1,000 years, chapter 20, and Satan's doom, great white throne judgment, new heaven, new earth and new Jerusalem, chapter 21 to 22, conclusion and benediction in chapter 22nd. So these 22 chapters we are going to discuss chapter by chapter in our regular Bible study. God bless you. Thank you.